Oh, look at that. We're live. It's Wednesday. It's 8 o'clock Eastern time. And that means it's time for This Week at Gear-Report. And we have a very illustrious panel with us today to talk about the things we talk about at This Week at Gear-Report, right? So that is what's been published. Oh, here we go. What's going to be published. And we are making an effort to stay to our 30-minute time frame and cut all the rambling BS, which is like the only part of this that I'm actually good at. So, excuse me, good at? Yeah. All right, let's go around the room. We're going to go counterclockwise this time. Since TJ thought we were going to him, we're going to go down to Mitch. Everyone just say hi. Introduce yourself.
Hey, everybody. Mitch from Gear-Report.com. Just checking in. Good to see everybody.
I guess Ghost didn't play in.
Oh, my bad. I'm not very smart. I'm Trey with Ghost Tactical. So yeah, I'm the token dumb one on the panel. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm Toby from Mining Ridge Army and Gear-Report.com, and I guess if he's the dumb one, I'm the token comedy relief on the board. So there you go.
TJ with Gear Report and Toby comedy relief, right?
So no one's going to say.
I'm funny, all right.
No one's going to say they're just hey, I'm the sexy one or whatever. No.
You can do the homeless one. I mean, you got the beard thing going on, so you're looking pretty gray and bearded. So
shut up.
Oh,
all right. How do I mute him? There we go. He is muted by decree. Can't unmute your guest because they chose to. What? Okay, whatever. All right. Hey, look at that. Speak of the devil. Well, good evening to you too. Hey, everybody. Well, hey to you, Buck. And let's see. Honcho Fed is there. So we got a few people rolling in here. That's not too shabby. Why don't we dive in? Because as we were discussing, we have got a lot to talk about. And let's see. I actually opened all these things, all these windows to get them ready to go. So now I just have to pick one to talk about. Let's go with this one. Yeah, I think that was one of the first ones that came out since our last discussion last week on the 2nd. This was on the interesting, updated on the 2nd, published on the 3rd. So this one was from Jacob, who is usually here just to harass me and be a thorn in my side during this broadcast. And he was actually going to join us on the panel today, but Jacob is part of the senior staff at our local scout camp, and they had a short notice meeting dumped on them for this evening. So he sent me a very heartfelt apologetic note that he was not going to be able to make it because his boss had, corralled him into an unplanned meeting with less than a day's notice. So at least he wasn't bitter about it, right? The SOG Seal XR flipper knife. This was actually sent. This is one of the knives that they said, hey, why don't we send you something for, since I've been doing a lot of boating. He said, oh, this will be a good one to keep in your life jacket. So if you got to cut yourself loose from something, you can do that. And I said, oh, that's cool. I've got this big stainless steel Techna dive knife that I've had for a couple decades. And then the next, within a couple days, I went out and I capsized the boat. And while I was flailing in the water, my Techna knife must have fallen off because it's at the bottom of the lake now. So I'm going to have to get this one back from Jacob so I can carry it with me. He liked it, didn't love it. 3.5 out of 5 is strong. It's not super strong. It is pretty good, though. I believe that the type of steel that they use in this is a pretty, I don't want to say super high end, but, reasonably, a couple steps above the basic stuff that you get. This is a big daddy of a knife. So if you want to hear more about that one, you can go check that out. All right. Okay, I am going it. Oh, look at that. Jacob, checking in between meetings. Won't be hanging around or harassing you today. We'll save it for next week. Well, that's good. Saving it up. All right. Good evening, everyone. I never doubted. Oh, Defense Dad's here. I never doubted that that the harassment was still coming. I'm just gonna have to wait until next week to get it. All right. Let's move on to the next one. We will do combat flip-flops. So this one, I don't know if we're ever going to get Joe on one of these broadcasts because he's in Greece and they're like 8 hours ahead of us or something. So this is the wee hours of the morning for him. He's probably not going to make it, but this is one that I arranged to have these combat flip-flops sent to him. All right, by show of hands doesn't really work because we can't see everyone, but speak up on the panel if you like flip-flops.
Who doesn't like flip flops? Come on.
What?
Flip-flops are life down here in Florida. You got to have at least 2 pairs.
It's way better than
Dress.
I like slide.
Way better
I
than
don't like the thing
Croc.
that goes in between the toes. But
Yeah,
the slide,
I'm
I'm good.
Maybe if you're
Yeah.
a chick, but Crocs for men.
What? Oh no. You had me with the slide. You had me with the slide. Flip flops are debatable with the thing between the toe, but only women wear Crocs. You got it backwards.
Women-
only ladies
women
or
and
lady
clothing.
men.
Negative.
Women. Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. No. Nope.
Oh, it's amazing. Toby got muted again for some unexplained reason. How does that keep happening? So, yeah, I can't deal with the thing between the toes either. But apparently Joe thought they were pretty cool. He gave them a 4 out of 5. And you got to check out his video. I'll tell you, Joe is a sailing instructor. That's his gig. He goes out and he sails and goes way too fast and crashes spectacularly. And that's his gig, right? But if you watch his review videos, he's got this one and another one that we'll look at in a little bit. He does pretty dang awesome review videos. So you ought to go check it out. It's a beautiful scenery and background there, but he does a really good job of explaining the pros and cons of this bizarre type of flip-flop. So we're going to leave it at that. And let's see, we'll close that one. I'll close this other one. Let me go open another window. Unmute. Can't unmute because they chose to mute themselves. Okay, I have removed Toby's manual overlord mute, and he is on self-mute now. So, with a little luck, he'll choose to remain muted. I won't have to execute the heavy hand of justice yet again to mute him.
The mute hammer.
Oh, there it goes. Man. You give him an inch, people. All right. Okay, show of voices again, because we can't do hands when I'm not watching the screen. Who does watches? And the next step is the whole smartwatch craze. Who's into it?
So I'm more into smartwatches, but Pickle is huge into decorative watches. Like, pretty much any watch.
I like
Yeah,
the
I'm a big watch guy, but not the
Yeah.
smartwatches.
Really?
Yeah.
Have
I
you,
mean,
have you tried
I
one?
do either.
Yeah, I've tried one. I'm not a big. I like well, I can turn my camera on maybe for a second, and
Oh,
I like
Okay.
watches like that.
Yeah.
Oh, and I went to him right as he turned it off. All right, that's fine. We'll go
Oh,
back to
I'm sorry here.
Oh, that's a big one.
Well, I understand it's not that big. I'm a small guy, so
All right, so let's
And,
go.
and by the way, some of us, you said you give them an inch. Some of us have only been blessed with an inch. So I'm just saying.
Yeah. You're waiting on me to argue with you or say something to bail you out.
No,
You gotta-
I'm just. It's reality, man. It's reality.
So the reason I ask about the watches and smartwatches is with this Amazon Vine program where they send me 5 or 6 products a day. I have just been on a mission. Like every smartwatch they offer me, I'm like, oh yeah, send it. So I'm on like 7 or 8 now. And oh, can you see? Let me see. Oh, check it. 2.
See, there's so many smartwatches on there that he roboted.
He totally did. And then, you know, the mute hammer fell upon him.
Yeah, it threw the whole stream into the matrix. So
I think
yeah,
the
good job,
smartwatches
Jeff.
took over. The AI and the smartwatches took over.
Yeah.
Both smartwatches are
All right,
trying to
am I
withstand
muted
what he's
now?
doing.
Who did that? I want to know which one of you guys figured out how to mute me, because I don't think I'm smart enough to know how to mute myself.
Oh, well, I'm sure it was me because I'm so tech savvy.
Yeah, yeah.
You're
Yeah,
the one
I
wearing the
don't know why.
smartwatches.
I was
Yeah, you get the
assuming.
smartwatches, Jeff.
Yeah. All right. So now I got to go back and be dramatic again and talk about boom, 2 smartwatches. Yeah. Okay. It seemed to lose some pop saying it when you'd already seen it but not heard it before. So I let everyone down. I'm sorry. But I was saying that since Amazon will send me whatever watches, you know, like they got a whole list of them. I think I'm up to 7 or 8 now that I've had them send. Probably more than this. Me, I'm up to 7 or 8. I've had a couple sent to other people to review as well. So I'm probably pushing 8 or 10. I think I'm going to do like a new heading on Gear Report for smartwatches pretty soon. And just everyone I can get my hands on, I'm going to do a quick review and boom, it'll be Smartwatch Central.
Just do watches because I got plenty of watches as well.
Yeah. Watches are
not the fancy
surprisingly
ones.
popular.
This
Which
will
I
be the
don't
watch
understand.
report.
I don't
Yep.
understand because I hate having these things on my wrist. I can't stand it. But you know, it's kind of neat. And I missed. They had one that I really wanted to try. I'm waiting to get one that has GPS built in, so that when I'm out sailing and trying to do my best Ricky Bobby and go as fast as I can, I want to be able to just look at my wrist and see how fast I'm going instead of having to dig a phone out of the dry box to see how fast I've gone. So yeah, they had one that came available in the time I've been doing this, and I didn't have any review product slots left. I had to wait till later in the day, and it was gone by the time I got to it. All right. So moving along, Jason Sanders sent in a pretty cool little video on adding the reinforcement plate to an airlift bumper on a Humvee. That's something a lot of people screw up, is that they just put the bumper on, they go towing shit, and they don't even put this reinforcement on. And then they tow things that are too big, and it's actually kind of unsafe. So really good, helpful Humvee DIY video to help people be safe and be sure that their trailer hitch is set up properly before they go towing stuff. So we like that. And by we, I mean me, because I'm the only Humvee guy on this discussion right now. Let's see. Does anyone here like an occasional adult beverage? Or even a more frequent adult beverage? It doesn't have to be occasional.
Never.
Never. Okay. Well, then you won't like the Vessel Flask review that our new friends at Down South. What are they called? Down South Outdoor and something. I'm messing it up now. What are they called? Off-road and outdoor. Right. Jeremy and Kim did a really interesting video review for this little flask. Fortunately, that's about as much as you see in their nude creek bathing, is what you see in the little preview there. Pretty neat little flask. You got to have kind of deep pockets. I think it's about $90 or something. $95. But it does some extra things and it's kind of neat. So check out that review video if you want to be entertained, and also if you have any interest in the Vessel Flask.
It doesn't hold enough ounces for me.
Yeah, 9 ounces is, cutting it a little close.
friend of mine has a half-gallon flask. It's pretty awesome.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I need.
Yeah. So since they're not here, let's talk about the other one that Jeremy and his wife Kim did. There's Kim. 7-inch round Jeep LED headlights review. The only other Jeeper we have here at the moment is Mitch. I don't know. Mitch, does your truck have round headlights or rectangular headlights? Or
Round. All new Jeep JKs have round headlights by
Okay.
default. But yeah.
Okay. So these headlights come available at Amazon somewhat frequently. If that's something, do you already have LED headlights?
My Jeep does not.
Okay. Well, if that's something you're interested in, let me know. And when the next set comes up, I'll shoot a set your direction and you can review them. This pose here, as Kim is installing, I'm going to request that if you review them, you don't do that pose.
Too late.
Yeah.
Mitch is on it. I knew it. Mitch is going to do it.
Yeah. These are coincidentally the same type of headlights that I have. I've got a pretty lengthy review of all the different types of headlights you can put in military Humvees and other military vehicles. They use that 7-inch round headlight. You have to tweak the wiring harness a little bit because they use a different type of connector. But for me, it's all of 10 minutes to clip the old connector off, build out a new connector for both headlights, and then you're good to go. So I've probably got 7 or 8 of these different types in that review, plus this one. So if you're into headlights for Harley Davidson or Land Rover or Jeeps or Hummers or Humvees, go check this out and check out the other article that is linked in there. I should ask, because I don't do a good job of keeping up with what's going on in the comments in the chat. So you guys that aren't scrolling the screen with me, if you see something interesting, let me know. We'll go talk about that along the way. I just don't want the people out there in the chat to think I'm ignoring them when I'm just trying to stay on track and work through here. All right, let's go to the Caldwell emacs Shadows Bluetooth earplugs from Jason the Rogue Banshee. So another show of hands here, or show of voices. Speak up if you have considered using little ear pro like this instead of like a big headset, something that you just tuck in your ear.
Yeah. I use several different styles of around the neck or smaller earbud based ear protection whenever I'm shooting, because it maximizes cheek weld for rifles. It keeps you from burning up when it's 150 degrees outside and you're shooting in the sun. They're just advantageous in a lot of different ways. There's also disadvantages though, because they're easy to slip out, easy to lose. Unless they're custom molded to your ear, they can go south pretty quickly, and by south I mean falling out of your head to the ground.
Right. Yeah, I guess you really.
I use. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I insist.
No, I use the decibels molded when I'm at the range. Now, if I'm doing a competition shoot, I'll use electronic ear pros so I can hear commands and all that stuff from the range officers or whatever. But if I'm just out at the range shooting, I'll use those decibels molded earplugs. They're pretty good.
Yeah. So I've got decibels with Bluetooth, and I've got decibels just the passive ones, and I have been known, like at SHOT Show at the range days, I'm pretty sure I just wore the passive decibels at the Antares event, and then of course we had the fiasco that was the electronic headsets at the big range day.
That was pretty comical last year.
Yeah, that was not a good sales pitch. It's like if you're going to take comms headsets, wireless comms headsets, and set up teams of people to walk around using them, you should make sure they're actually going to work for shit before you have people go walking around, because it wasn't a good sales pitch that they just didn't work very well.
I think the range was about what, 2.5 feet, something like that.
If that.
2 to 2.5, I think. Yeah. If
Well,
the
I mean,
batteries are fresh.
Yeah, and again, it is hit and miss with the different brands and stuff, but I can say from personal experience, you know, I've got 20, 30 different styles of headsets, you know, because I'm a real headset and ear protection, earbud kind of guy, but you'll never catch me not wearing at least a neckband style, Bluetooth enabled audio device of some kind, because it serves 1,000 different purposes. Among them is even passive, you know, hearing protection, like you were just talking about. So worst case, I can just yank them out and stick them in my ears if I've got time to do so, if, you know, and I don't have electronic ear protection with me. So ears are a good thing to have.
Yeah. Oh, and I was about to say, I hear you, but that would have been a little too cheesy, I think. So, yeah, interesting. The Banshee gave these 3.5 out of 5 gears, so he liked them a fair amount. You can go check out that review. He's got a video in there. If you are into that kind of thing, you should go watch it and see what he says about them. Oh, look at that. He gives a full tour of it. Yeah, go check that out if you have any interest in that type of ear pro. All right, let's go back to the team for a second. Hey, team. We're going to take a detour because I said we're going to stay on track, but when people ask questions, I feel like we need to address them. So let's see. Previous reviews. Does anyone have experience with the 2.5x prism from primary arm? See, that has got me wondering if that is what Caleb looked at last year. Did he do the review on that, or does he still have that in his queue? I don't remember. How about any of you guys?
Not those in particular, but a couple of words of I don't know about sage advice. I don't know if I call anything that comes out of my mouth sage advice, but a couple of things to consider is, number one, when you're talking about the prism scopes, they do have a captured beam, which is a good thing. That means that, you know, contrary to like your vortex style red dot or micro red dot optics that have the exposed red beam up on the top, they are designed for a little tougher use. Now, again, I can't speak for primary arms, although traditionally they've been a pretty good brand. It does give you some significant advantages to, like, where you hear people complain about water, like the water will interfere with the dot and cause it to prism and break up. Optics do kind of help with that. Now, disadvantages are, you know, there's a couple. Number one is weight. You know, you're not going to get one that's light. They're going to come up around anywhere from 10 to 13 ounces. So you're pushing up near a pound you're adding to your rifle for getting most of your prism styles. And then the final word of caution I would offer for the prism style scopes, all of them, regardless of the brand, is be cautious of what you're going to be using it for. So your 2.5 is going to be always 2.5 magnification. There's no up and down. It's going to be, most of them are just static magnification. So you need to be cautious of what your intended use and purpose for the optic is. And if magnification could actually distort for closer in usages, such as at your home or distances of 75 feet and in, you might want to consider going with a 1x or a 0 magnification.
And another thing about prisms on the good side of it is, if someone's out there that has an astigmatism, you know, red dots, sometimes they say they glare and they kind of mushroom a little bit and different things with different eyesight. But from what I don't have one, but from my understanding is if you have an astigmatism, the prism sight gives you the best option to see a clear reticle. So on the flip side of the negatives, if you do have an astigmatism, that might be something to try out for sure.
Yeah, I agree with all that. And like I said, it's that, you know, give and take. I mean, like the prism style optics for pistols, they look like a big brick sitting on top of the pistol. But again, they're rugged, rigid. You know, they're heavy, but you know, they're, you know, like Trey was saying, they also have, you know, better for vision. And then if we're going to discuss that, what Defensive Dad said next, that's a good topic too. What he said about Bluetooth ear. But
boom.
Yeah, so I actually also have experience. If he's talking about the Walker razors, I have those around the neck, and they're the ones that you mold, or you can heat them up with your fingertips and then put them in your ears and hold them in place, and they actually expand. So those mitigate that we were talking about them slipping out, not being molded. Now the flip side to that is they're also a foam base, which means they get significantly dirtier and they start to hold earwax a lot quicker, and it's just gross. I mean, it's just all there is to it. And in the wintertime, you do have some challenges with your body heat of warming them up enough to get them to mold. Another challenge with those is the way they're designed to sit around your neck. They tend to slide around, or the wires being so thick and rugged, which they are extremely thick and rugged, tend to get caught up in some of your slings and things like that. So there's, again, trade-offs. There's no perfect answer, unfortunately. So, but I love my Caldwell razor, or my Walker razors, XVs, and they are Bluetooth and they do work very well. But according to Defense Dad, the ones we were just talking about, the emacs, don't sound anywhere near as good. So I'm curious, Defense Dad, are you talking about sound quality, or are you talking about, like, if you're playing music or talking to somebody on them, or are you talking about the actual ear protection and decibel reduction? What do you mean by they don't work as good?
Yeah. Okay, and while we're waiting to see if he answers that, I want to address one more thing that I wanted to say about Primary Arms. I was talking to someone from Primary Arms today, and they are open to getting some more review products out. So if you're on the Gear Report team and you have something from Primary Arms that you would like to get a hold of, shoot me some emailage, and I will pass that along to the appropriate individual and see if we can get something out your direction. Because I think Caleb knows someone there and has gotten a product or two from them before, but we have not gotten.
I just ordered something from them this weekend. That would have been nice to know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hey, I'm telling you, within hours of having that discussion. So
I've ordered several things from them over the past month or two, and they've been pretty good. One thing was out of stock, and they were like, "Yeah, we'll give you credit." I'm like, "Yeah, just leave it there. Something will come across."
Yeah. I just ordered a CZ P10S that should be here next week sometime, so I'm looking forward to that.
Nice. Yeah, interesting.
Fence.
Okay. Let's see, what else do we have to
My
look
first
at?
CZ, so
We've actually got. Is that how you pronounce that? CZ?
that's how I'm pronouncing it. But I'm in Arkansas, so I don't know.
Yeah.
CZ.
Okay.
I think CZ.
I was asking Toby. Everyone makes fun of how he says Canic. I was just
Janik.
curious.
Janik. Get it right.
Yeah,
Janik.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Janik.
Canic.
Yeah. So
You heathen.
So we got another review. This is Joe over in Greece, and I both got the Colorado sandals from Zero Shoes. So we've been doing a lot of Zero Shoes. Joe Rickliff's got a pair, and Mitch had a pair recently that he reviewed. And Joe Bennett and I both got these Colorado sandals and have both been using them for catamaran sailing. So the way we split this up is I did the written part, and he did the review video that you see down here. Both of them. He did a preview, unboxing, first impression, and then came back with a full review. And again, really awesome video and photography in a paradise-like setting over there in Greece. So even if you don't care about the sandals, you can scroll past all the pictures of me on different sailboats and just go to Joe's videos and watch those, because they're pretty neat. And as it turns out, I kind of dig those sandals. I wasn't going to get a pair, but Joe was just gushing about how awesome they are. So I sent Steven at Zero Shoes a note, said, "Hey, can you send me a pair of these to look at?" And a couple days later, they showed up. So go check them out if you're into that kind of thing. I have to warn everyone before you get any, they don't have the little thing between the toes that some of you weird ass people seem to like. So they're not the what do they call it? Flip-flops. They don't have that kind of weird flip-floppy thing.
We're just used to it. We grew up with them down here in Florida. That's the way it works.
Yeah. All right, so now we'll look at, I think this is probably the last one, action cam mount. This is something that I put a couple of these on one of the sailboats, and I think the next one's going to publish like next week. I published one now, and you see it on the left side of the boat here, and then the one you'll see pop up next week has a similar mount on the other side of the boat. And these are pretty cool little mounts for action cameras. Like for the high dollar people, it would be a GoPro. For the people like me, it's going to be a faux pro, a fake GoPro. And I put them on before I go out sailing, and I've been using the plastic mounts that come with the little cameras and hoping that nothing breaks. But now I picked up a couple of these all aluminum mounts that also have a rotation. So it is pretty easy to change the angle on the camera. I'm showing them here on boats, but when the Humvee comes in, we'll do video driving around, using the same mounts on the Humvee. Maybe strap them on a Jeep or something at some point. I'll put them on a trekking pole for hiking. There are a whole lot of different things you can do because they fit a little over a ½ inch to a little under an inch and a half. You can put them on a bicycle or motorcycle, like if you're doing some, what do they call it, mountain biking or kayaking, or should probably get one of these in Marty's hands for his moto vlogging. You put them on your wakeboard, boat, trekking poles, all different kinds of places you could put them. I love those little boogers. They're impressed me more than I expected. Okay,
so kind of on subject, but a little bit off subject. I've got a GoPro, but I was looking to get another one. But you said that you've used some of the cheaper versions of the GoPros. Do you have one that you recommend that actually works decent?
Yeah, I'll tell you, the last one that I bought, you toe thongs, you people are jacked up. I mean that in the most loving way possible. So I would share with you the link to the last one that I got, but they'd had a couple bad reviews, and where everything else similar was going for $75 or $80 on Amazon, these I paid $19.99 shipped. It was like I expected the Billy Blaze guy to be doing a commercial for it, only $19.99. And I really expected it to be garbage. A little 4K action camera with a waterproof case and a remote control. And you can control it from an app as well. Like it has Wi-Fi. I don't think it has Bluetooth. I think it's just Wi-Fi. $20. I thought this is going to be garbage. This is going to be my target camera. So when I'm on the range shooting and I want a camera that I don't care if it gets hit with a bullet, for $20, who cares? And it turns out the little thing is awesome. So lately, if you buy an action camera that says it'll do 4K, it may not be the best at 4K. It may get a little pixelated or jumpy or something, but just set it on 1080. It'll run like a freaking top. I have yet to find a bad one. I've got 3 of the little faux pro cameras, and I have an Intova. Intova is pretty awesome. That's a complete waterproof housing, like a dive camera, that was sent for review. But aside from the one that was sent, I get nothing but the cheap ones, and they work really well. So read the Amazon reviews a little bit, and if it's just riddled with piece of junk, overheated, worked for 10 minutes and then crapped out, yeah, maybe skip that one. But most of them are going to be pretty good. Oh, and with that, TJ said, screw you guys, I'm going to go get another drink. All right. Won't let me see new comments. All right. So that, we're 4 minutes and 20 seconds over our 30-minute limit. We hadn't talked about what's coming, so I will just point out a couple things here. Let's see. Right here, you see, I'm not touching it. That's way behind me. That is a full-size 1911 with a set of... okay, you guys want the link? I will look up some faux pro cameras and post a link in the Gear Report Facebook page. It'll probably be tomorrow morning, but I'll do that. So if you guys want to get your FoPro cameras, I'll do a little legwork and find a good one for you. But anyhow, I was saying, I put a set. What do they call them? Is it G10? Is that what the material's called that they make the grips out of? I should have set that closer so you could see it.
They can make them out of G10.
Okay, well, I think that's what it is, and it's milled. It almost looks like is it stippled? Stippled? I'm going to call it stippled. It kind of looks like that. It's got a really neat pattern on it. So I'm going to review that pretty soon. And then on the other side, up here is let me see if I do that a little bit. It's it looks like a jerry can, but it's actually got a pretty intense filtration system and pump built into it. And it's called the Lifesaver water filter. And apparently when they designed this, the idea was you put one of these in a small African village and it will provide safe drinking water for a year for the whole village. And I have it just sitting on a shelf up here. So I'm going to actually bust it out and get some review action going on with that. And I'm telling you, I've had so many things come in through this Amazon stuff that I am going to be pelting you guys with reviews left, right, center, all over the place. G10. Okay, good. So that's what they are. Cool. And there's more of those grips. Any of you guys have a 1911? You want a new set of grips to review?
For sure.
Faux show. All right. Send me what you have. He said I. All right. I thought he said I. I was waiting for him to finish the sentence. He said I. Okay. Oh, here we go. A shameless plug for Chris the Pickle Gherkin. Expect you to watch Hanging with Pickle and Mike tomorrow. I will be a guest, hopefully. All right. Well, I think we're excited. That should be good. We'll see. I'm actually kind of double booked during that time slot, so I'll be running a Sea Scout meeting for at least for the beginning of that show. I'll be running. My son will be running. He's the one in charge. I'm just there because we have to have adults on premises. Yeah. All right. So which way we want to go around the room? Let's go clockwise this time. Let us know if you have anything coming up that you want to talk about.
Sure. So the last weekend of September, I'll be heading out to Tactical Response for the 2-day sniper course to finally put the some of the finishing touches on the. Well, I won't say finishing touches on, but put the Titan through a little bit more of its ringers. And so we're getting closer and closer. I know I've been teasing it for forever, but we're getting closer and closer. So that's one of the big things on my radar in the foreseeable future.
Right. Tactical Response. That's the Jaeger. Is that?
Yep. Jaeger. Yep. Jaeger. I'll be going out the 26th and 27th. Drive out on a Friday and stay a couple days and do the 2-day sniper course. So. Yeah.
I know you've talked about this before, but I'm just going to throw a little unsolicited plug for James Jaeger. I've seen him at some events. I've seen him comment in the behind-the-scenes chats for people going to industry events, and he can come across as pretty strongly douchey. But then Caleb and I spent a few days with him and various other people at an event.
And you're muted again. The mute hammer fell backwards again.
Quit muting him, Toby.
Listen, you're bored. We're just.
Okay, do you hear me now?
Yes. You spent a couple days with him and other people, and then you muted.
Yeah. So I touched the USB cable for my microphone, like just brushed against it when I set my drink down, and boom, it stopped working.
You're not supposed to touch it when you're on the air. We've talked about this.
I can't help touching it. Yeah. So anyhow, all I was going to say is really chill guy, went out of his way to be helpful with everyone all the time. And he said, yeah, it is a little bit of a thing that he does to kind of keep the people he doesn't want to deal with away. That he intentionally comes across more douchey than maybe he really is, to kind of scare away the
Not
type
just
of
that,
people.
but he also,
trained.
yeah,
If
he
you've
does
never
a lot of
trained with
stupid.
him, he is the real deal with training. He's passionate about it. He's obviously very knowledgeable. His staff is passionate, and that's really all I'm looking for. Someone that knows what they're talking about and has a passion for it, and trying to make everybody better. And everyone knows that James and I, how do I put this? Through the interwebs, haven't always gotten along, but yeah, he's a friend now. I mean, we talk pretty, I wouldn't say regularly, but fairly regularly, several times a year. Been training with him several times, and the dude's the real deal, man.
Cool.
Agreed.
All
Yeah,
right.
and again, you have to understand he has to deal with thousands and thousands of people, and some of them aren't the most brightest tools in the tree. So
Easy.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to be.
No, but it's legit. The type of training they do. If you get people who really shouldn't be there, they can be dangerous. So it's good to kind of weed people out doing the kind of stuff he does. So I get it. Okay, so Toby claims that eventually there's going to be a review on the Titan. Okay, we shall see. Ghost.
Yeah, I've got two of them out there waiting for your approval. I've got one on the Ido Gear G3 Combat Pant, which are kind of the knockoffs of the Cry G3s. That's in the system where it will be published. And then also one to be published is a little quick review on the UTG 3X magnifier. That was a little quick review that I did. And I got a couple guns coming in the next few days. I've got a Foxtrot Mike 5-inch AR pistol, and then the CZ P10S coming in. So there'll be obviously reviews done on those as well.
Cool. All right, we look forward to those. Let's see. I say go to Tonto's training.
I talk to Chris once a week, so
Okay.
he's got one in Shreveport that I'm trying to get to. Unfortunately, the COVID relationship between Arkansas and Shreveport, I've got a 14-day quarantine when I get back from Shreveport, so that's going to be a no-go. Wow. But he's got another one in Fort Worth in October that I'm going to try to get to. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to get to one in Shreveport because I'm going to have to quarantine for 2 weeks, and I can't take that much time off work.
Yeah. I don't know how he is with training, but he seems to be just one of the most genuinely nice guys in the industry.
He is. He truly is. I mean, he is a really just take everything aside. He's just a cool dude. He really is. He's happy-go-lucky. He understands that he should have never walked away from that night. He should have never left. So he literally lives his life from here on out as enjoy it because I shouldn't be here to begin with. So he really is a good guy.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Let's see. That was GhostMitch. You have anything coming?
Not currently. I'm doing some deep dives on some Jeep stuff, and a crew that I know just got back from Colorado on a trip. I want to contact them and maybe put some Jeep content up on the channel, maybe me interviewing some folks and shopping for some Jeeps.
Jeans?
Jeeps.
Like Jeeps? I was going to say, if this was turned into a skinny jeans conversation, I was going to have to bow out. But okay, good.
Well, we've all seen the photos, Jeff.
He's already said he wears Crocs, so skinny jeans would fit right in.
And he keeps beating me to the mute. All right, TJ.
I'm finishing up the Streamlight, the TLR RM2. That I had a little issue. I threw it in the pool to see if it was waterproof, and it hasn't worked in a day or so, so I'm waiting.
Okay, good.
And Sadiq from DLG Tactical sent me some stuff. So a buttstock, buttstock, and then a stock and a pistol grip for a Mossberg 500.
Yeah, they had all kinds of like injection molded gun furniture type stuff. Yeah. So I'm interested to see.
Yeah, it's solid. I mean, it seems solid. I just took it out. I just got it the other day, and I was like, man, this stuff seems legit. Yeah. So We'll see.
All right. Excellent. All right. Well, we are a good 50% over our projected 30-minute time frame. So I'm going to say thanks to everyone for being here. Thanks to everyone on the panel. This show would be decidedly better looking, but less interesting without you guys here. Yeah, that was mean. See, I feel bad about saying that already. As far as you
That's
know.
why I keep my camera off, bro. No one wants to see this mug.
And thanks to everyone in the chat. We really appreciate you out there. One of these days I'm going to remember early in the broadcast to suggest to people, hey, if you're out there in the chat, go hit the like button, because then it spreads it around and more people will see it. Maybe more people will join, and then we're able to have the conversation go in various other different directions. Yeah, see, I appreciate that people notice when I just say screw it and blow off shaving. So thank you.
It's hard not to notice.
I know. But the good
The
news.
sad thing is he only stopped shaving at noon today. This is just a half day growth.
The good news is that once this is gone, you guys will be like, oh my God, it's Jeff's son, because I look so much younger, right? I'm not Mining Ridge Armory. I am not going to put that on the screen. You want to see what he's talking about, you have to go to YouTube. While you're there, click the little the thumbs up. Is that what it is? Yeah. Okay. Anyone want to talk about anything you have upcoming outside of Gear Report? Anything else you want to promote? This is the self-promotion around the horn before we shut down. Anyone? I agree. LOL, Toby. All right. Thank you, Buck. Everyone wanted to say it. Buck's the only one who had the stones to step up and laugh at Toby. All right. Toby in the man toe thongs and banana hammock. People are wrong. No one needs that mental image.
See, if you would have ended this the 45-minute mark, would have been fine. But you let it go to 47, and then all hell broke loose.
He's got to ramble on. That's what happens.
It's all on me. I accept it, and I took the ship down with me today. So sorry about that. Thanks for coming along for the ride, though. We really appreciate it. We'll be back next Wednesday at 8:00 in the real time zone. That would be Eastern, and that would be Eastern. As if I had to say that. Everyone knows what the real time zone is.
That's fake news.
Fake news, whatever. So, all right. There was something else I was going to say. Oh, Pickle and Mike are back on Thursdays. So they took a break for a while. I don't know why. Didn't run it by me. They do what they want, right? So, but they're back, apparently. And there's a rumor that G23 is going to be on with them tomorrow. So I can neither confirm nor deny. All I can say is it's 7:00 Eastern time. Maybe you want to click on over to the Gear Report YouTube. You'll see if it happens or not. All right. So until then, what? Did you just call me a fascist?
Better get it fact checked.
Oh, yes. Got it. All right.
It would have been a lot better if he did call you a fascist. That'd be kind of funny.
I know. I'm hurt that he just suggested it.
I think it's time to shut her down. So until next time, we'll see you at the range.